Tim Stevenson with us back from Sochi.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How was your experience going there? Do you feel like you achieved your goal?
Yes, which is really wonderful to be able to say, because it was a tough goal, and we were really not certain of what we were going to be able to accomplish, but we absolutely achieved our goal.
And to get specific, who did you have access to, and what were the discussions had with this message of acceptance?
Well, we saw the Chief of Staff of the President of the I.O.C, President Bach, and the Head of Communications, the Director of Communications for the I.O.C. These are the two top bureaucrats in the I.O.C. And President Bach was unable to make that meeting because evidently he had 6 or 8 head of states that particular day to meet with, and so he couldn't meet, but he asked these two officials to meet with me.
So you made that progress in getting the message to the leaders in the I.O.C. at the very least. The message being we need to have inclusiveness when it comes to Pride House like we had in Vancouver in 2010. Why doesn't that exist in every host city?
Exactly that, but most importantly, to begin with, to get them to put the word sexual orientation within their charter. At the moment, the I.O.C. does not have sexual orientation. It has kind of a rough anti-discriminatory clause, but not sexual orientation, whereas the Paralympics does. So we were saying just do the same. We went for this meeting. I thought maybe we'd have a 10 or 15-minute meeting, which is what we asked for in our letters to them. We said we won't take much of your time. These two top bureaucrats spent almost an hour and a half with us, almost an hour, thoroughly discussing everything. Everything was on the table, including sexual orientation, the Pride House, and so on. And they came away saying, this new president wants to go in a new direction, has a new vision, and needs to have a comprehensive review of everything in the I.O.C, including sexual orientation. And if they said it once, they said it at least a half a dozen times that was on the table. So we walked away just astounded at first, like we've come all this way, and both on the Pride House and also on inclusion within the charter, they were saying yes.
So what is the process moving forward? Because a lot of people, when this trip came up, Tim, they talked about the idea of $100,000 being spent. There's no doubt the message is important, but how do you keep the I.O.C. and the group accountable for, yes, they're getting behind the message, but they follow through on their actions for the future?
Well, two things. We put out the figure of $100,000 because at first we had no idea how much money we needed to collect, and I wanted to go out privately to the LGBT community to get that money. And we put that figure up because we were hearing that hotels for a few days and entrance and so on, you had to buy a package, and it could be $15,000 to $20,000 and so on. My portion alone looks like it's coming in under $10,000, which is the taxpayer's portion. The rest we had to hire a project manager, and that person's on contract. Maureen Douglas, who went with me as well, and that's all going to be privately paid. That won't come from the taxpayers. So we're really pleased about the cost ends of this.
How important do you feel it is that our city and our country indeed is such a beacon now for leveling the playing field when it comes to sexuality, that it doesn't become such an explosive topic? It just seems to have taken over these Olympic Games to such a huge regard, because it wasn't that long ago that it was illegal to be gay here.
Exactly. 50 years ago, I would have been in jail for being gay. So we can't throw too many stones at other houses. It takes different countries and different cultures longer to come along. But I think we have been a beacon, and I think that's really important. I think this has been unique in that with Russia making such a fuss, that it's kind of backfired on them. It's brought all this attention, and I don't think without the LGBT community galvanizing around the world and putting this on the agenda that you would have seen this change of heart. I think we actually can slap ourselves on the back, whether we're in Johannesburg or Vancouver, for bringing pressure to bear on the I.O.C, with pressure to bear on sponsors. It's made a huge change. Well,
you've led the charge on an all-important issue. Congrats on the trip, and good to hear the sentiments surrounding it. We've got the latest up-to-date counts for the medals. Good to see Canada leading the charge.